Hey guys, hanging out at the park here. I wanted to make this video on the problem of automation, or really rather the fear of automation by machines, particularly industrial automation. I made a tweet the other day saying that I thought the Andrew Yang campaign was one of the most damaging things to ever happen in American politics. Now, maybe that was a little bit over hyperbolic, but a cornerstone of his campaign was not just the UBI, but the reason he said we might, be needing a UBI, that is the universal basic income, was because so many of our jobs are going to be automated in the future. With the coming of AI, the AI egregore is going to automate all of our jobs away, and then because of that, we needed a UBI so that most people will have some sort of basic sustenance in the age of automation. And the reason why I think his campaign and that message was so damaging is because really what it did is it made Americans afraid of industrial automation and afraid to embrace industrial automation. And one of the biggest problems that we have is the deindustrialization of the United States, which has already, basically taken place, right? Deindustrialization has already been underway for 30 years or more at this point, arguably 50. And so we've already been deindustrialized, but not by machines. Our labor has been outsourced to other countries, right? To China, mostly. And I think the key thing you have to realize is that if the United States is to have any hope of reindustrializing at all, then we need to do so by embracing industrial automation, right? Because high-tech, highly automated factories, where everything that can be done by a machine instead of a human is done by a machine instead of a human, and everything that can't be done by a machine is done by a human. And also, you have all those humans working on developing, designing, and maintaining those automation machines. Is the only kind of factory that can really be supported for complex manufacturing in the United States. If you look at what Elon Musk is doing with his American factories, both his Tesla factories as well as his SpaceX factory. Both of those factories, especially the Tesla factories, especially the Gigafactory Texas and Gigafactory Nevada, are based around the idea of automating as much of the factory as possible, right? And that doesn't mean that they don't still need thousands of humans to man those factories. It just means that there's a lot of complex machinery, there's a lot of complex engineering. You have to hire a lot of high-skilled workers, and even in order to even operate those kinds of factories. And so I guess the main point that I'm just trying to get across here is that industrial automation is the only way that the U.S. Can reindustrialize and maintain its sort of standards of living, right? Because the workers are going to demand a certain level of wages, no matter what kind of factory they're in the United States. So we need to embrace industrial automation. We need to stop fearing this AI egregor. The fact of the matter is that if something can be done by a machine, then why should a human be spending their time doing it, right? The humans shouldn't be doing rote tasks all day long that are repetitive and undifferentiated. And we should be trying to, as much as we can, free up that human capital and free up human time to do activities that are worthy of a human being, right? Do human activities, activities that are general, not specific, activities that require a certain touch of craftsmanship or artisanship, and activities, of course, that cannot be easily just automated away, just outsourced to a machine. And so embracing industrial automation will actually encourage humans to specialize more. It will enable us to reindustrialize in the way that we want to and have high-tech factories in the United States doing complex industrial production with high-skilled workers. And also, some lower skilled workers that do just have to operate those factories. But still, they'll be able to command very high wages because those will be extremely productive factories. And the automation will contribute to the productivity of the factory, It will decrease, problems, generally speaking, as long as it's designed well, and that'll lead to higher wages. So don't be afraid of industrial automation. We need to embrace industrial automation, and I think we need to also reindustrialize the United States. Everyone's seeing right now with these supply chain shocks, uh, how vulnerable we are and how dependent we are on international supply chains, and we're starting to try to move some industries back to the United States. We're trying to bring our chip manufacturing onshore because of the threat to Taiwan and obviously the competition with China, which is tied closely with that. Um, but we're having a hard time doing it, and one of the reasons we're having a hard time doing it is because we actually don't have enough skilled workers in these particular fields who can actually operate these factories, right? Mechanical engineers, industrial engineers, automation techs, et cetera, et cetera. So the future of the American economy is going to be embracing industrialization, and the way that we do that is going to be through industrial automation. So don't be afraid of it. See you guys.